Hi, my name's Ztarli, and in this video I'll be customizing and colouring a template I made for MerMay. So I'm starting with one of my MerMay templates and I'm just editing it. If you'd like to see how I got to this point, there is a video on all of my MerMay templates which you can find on the link above. I do use the symmetry tool to help with the drawing of the face to make sure they are even on both sides. I'm also using the smoothing tool to make sure that my line art is nice and smooth, as I don't have steady hands, and I do find without the smoothing tool I do have a bit of a wobble to my line art. Basically all I'm doing here is I've created a new layer above the template layer, and I'm just drawing new line art on this layer, and then I'm erasing away the lines that cross over with the template on the template layer below. So you'll see me switching between the two layers as I decide what parts I'm going to add on or change, and where the line art needs to be erased away from the original template. I decided to make this merperson into a shark merperson. I really like sharks. I think they're really cool. I like how they look really sleek. And I just have a thing, like I just kind of like mermaids that have their tails going the other way as opposed to like dolphin type mermaids. I like the idea of mermaids that move their tail from side to side rather than up and down. And I also really like thresher sharks, which are the ones that have the really long top tail fin. So I made his top tail fin a little bit exaggerated in this picture. I say him, but it's kind of like non-binary sort of character here. It's not specifically male or female. I just wanted to keep it kind of loose that way. It's just like a cute little merperson, shark merperson thing that I drew, and I think it's kind of cute. I decided to make it a dark color because I am actually really fond of dark colored characters, like black colored characters. I especially like black dragons with bright colored eyes, like green or blue eyes. And you'll see later on in this picture I do actually give this character bright green eyes, and I really like how the eyes came out. They only have two different colors in them, but by adding a darker color and then a really bright color as the highlight for the eyes, it really made the eyes look like they were almost glowing. I currently have their hair a dark grey or black color, but I decide later on that the character looks too dark overall, so I do decide to change the hair to a much lighter color later on in the video. For those of you who watched my previous videos, you may already know this, but I do like accenting dark colors or characters with gold. So that mustardy sort of color that's on the character at the moment is my base color for gold, and you'll see later on that by adding highlighting and dark parts to this sort of color, you can make it look like a gold color. I do decide to go way overboard with the blush because I haven't had an opportunity to give a character blush in a long time, so I just kind of went hell for leather with this one and added lots of blush to the character because I think it makes them look extra cute. You ready? I'm gonna color eyes. Bam, done. Eyes are done. I really liked how that turned out and how it was so easy to do. I'm now moving on to shading, so I've created a extra layer. This is a multiply layer. I'm just using a round paintbrush for this. It's kind of got a little bit of a soft edge, but not super fluffy. And I've just chosen like a really bright blue color, but because this is a multiply layer, it's actually laying down dark colors on top of the character, and I'm just sort of scoping out where the shadow would go at the moment. And then once I'm happy with the positioning of the shadow, I soften the edges by using an eraser and erasing back over areas of the character and giving it a softer edge where the sort of shading would be more gradual, and leave harder edges where like a shadow would be cast like underneath the head and underneath the fins and that kind of thing. Once I'm happy with the positioning of the shadows, I then make some adjustment to the colouring of the shadows. So I use the hue saturation tool to change the colour. I also lock the layer and then choose other colors to mix in with the shadows. So I've got some slightly different colored shadows in there as well. If you look to the left, you can actually see how bright my shadow layer actually is without being on a multiplier layer. I just kind of do a similar thing with the highlight layer, except that I just paint straight onto the layer without doing the blending mode, and once I finish painting the layer, then I change the blending mode to try and find something I'm happy with. And just same sort of thing as before, I do a bit of smudging on this layer, and then I go back and erase back parts where the light shouldn't be, especially where shadow is cast across the light areas. I want to soften the line art by making it colored line art, so I've just locked the line art layer, and now I'm coloring over the parts of the lines I want to be different colors. So I want gold edge things to have gold lines, and change the color of the hair layer and that kind of thing, just to make a softer looking line art. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference if it's a multiplier layer as this one is, but you can definitely see like the gold edged ones now don't have solid black line. They've now got like this brownie colored line, which I think just makes those parts of the design blend more in with the character and just softens things up a little bit. I do some final highlighting with a almost white color. I actually used a sort of orangey white color, which sort of makes it look a bit more glowy. And then I add a really super quick background, just a sort of strokes of a brush, and then throw some bubbles in the background. And I add a white, again, almost white color for an outline around this, and then it is pretty much done. And here's a finished image of my little shark person. Well, thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I have a Patreon if you'd like to support me. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.